how well they've done. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. Newcastle have won a game on a Wednesday night. Scoring the players' time now. I'm here with Isha, and I'm also here with Kyle Thompson as well. So you've got the best of both worlds with NE29 and wherever Isha lives in, what was it, Watford area, something like that?
Hertfordshire, yeah, not too far from Watford Stadium, actually.
Well, there you go. There you go. Yeah, we're scoring the players after Newcastle have beaten Bournemouth by 4-1. Isha, I'll let you start it off with Martin Dubravka. Probably a bit of a kick in the teeth, really, with that late goal, but he didn't really have to do anything, did he?
Yeah, that's the thing. He wasn't tested throughout. He wasn't. It's so bittersweet because in the dying moments, like, what was it? Like, was it a lapse in concentration? Was it just like a split second of mistake? And then, we conceded and the clean sheet's gone out the window after all that hard work. It was a shame, but I can't fault him up until that moment. I was meant to say the score first. The score for him, I'd say a 7. I'd say a 7, a solid 7. He wasn't tested, so we can't necessarily judge him on the saves he made. But I would say a 7, and it's just a shame. Because he's I saw that stat. He's made the most Premier League saves in the whole league. Our goalkeeper, and to hold that stat and then in the dying moments to give away the clean sheet, it's a shame, and I think he's worthy of a 7.
Yeah, definitely worthy of a 7. Again, he was always comfortable with anything that really came towards him. Obviously, with the goal, he can't do anything about. Kyle, I'll let you continue with Javier Manquillo, who's at left back tonight and as a forward at the back. He's keeping me quiet at the minute because it was a really, really good performance. Since we've come back in the Premier League, he's really shut me up because I've never really been his biggest fan, but I think he was brilliant tonight.
He was absolutely fantastic. Nothing really got past him, and I'm going to give him an 8. Really solid. I think on the Facebook page there was 1 or 2 people saying he deserved man of the match. I wouldn't go that far. I think there was better players that we'll go into later in the video, but he was really solid. No one got past him. He got on the overlap quite a few times as well. He looked really good. So for me, a solid 8 by Manquillo. I don't think he put a foot wrong, and yeah, it's good to see that he's still doing well after he signed the contract, because not many players do in a black and white shirt, let's be honest, or orange in today's case.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we'll continue with the high scores with Jamal Lascelles. Him and Fernandez were brilliant today. Really, really good. I think he got his head in when he needed to. I'm going to give Jamal Lascelles a 9 out of 10 today. I thought he was superb, and he didn't deserve not to concede right at the end. I think he was a rock at the back. Josh King didn't really get an inch. It was a really, really good performance, and I think obviously we've always said that Jamal Lascelles is capable of these fantastic performances, and I think tonight was just another reason why he should be given a chance with England in the future, because there's been players that have not done as well consistently that have been given England chances. I think Jamal Lascelles is worthy of an England call for sure. Next to him, Isha, was Federico Fernandez. He had a real battle with Josh King, got elbowed as well, but just like Lascelles, he was really, really impressive, wasn't he?
He was, exactly, yeah. I would say for Lascelles, purely based on his leadership skills, he gets more points for me naturally. Just even in the warm-up, did you see him? He was so vocal, his usual self, grabbing everyone together, this is what we're going to do, you guys focus, this is the vision. And yeah, I agree with everything you said about Lascelles. With Fede Fernandez, the only difference for me is that I wasn't blown away, although I did see a big improvement since the Man City game. And for that reason, I'd give him a 7. And also his lip, oh my God, what happened to it? That is that's worthy of 2 points in itself, because I would not know what to do if I had my lip like that. He just grabbed a tissue, stabbed it a bit, and got on with it. No, I wouldn't be able to do that if that were me.
It's Argentinian, man, the Mara were there.
Just a bit. Kyle, let's continue all these high scores with a player that I didn't think I'd have to mention today, and that is Emil Krafth. I have to be honest, I was surprised when that got mentioned, that he was going to be playing at right back. And I think apart from the first 5 minutes where he was a little bit shaky, I thought he was impressive today. I think he really, really grew into the game, which I've never thought I'd say about Emil Krafth.
Neither did I. He was absolutely spot on, and I'm giving Lascelles a 9 again. But no, we'll go on to Emil Krafth, and I've given him an 8. He was really solid, Johnny, defensively. I think he only got done once off that left midfielder. I can't remember his name, but he only got done off him once. Defensively was so solid. Reading the game time and again when we seemed a bit like less players at the back, he seemed to cover well. And it's so unlike Emil Krafth. It's not what we're used to, but it's definitely his best performance in a Newcastle shirt. Like if he keeps playing like that, Manquillo and Yedlin, who we'll talk on later, will definitely have problems because he played well today. He showed the player that we actually signed. Good defensive player.
Yeah, were you impressed with him, Isha? Because he just seemed to really flourish throughout the whole game. Oh,
Oh, is that Isha gone? Oh, she's back. There, we're gone.
She's back. Sorry,
Swift recovery.
Swift recovery. We were just going to ask you, Isha.
Right?
You're back.
Yeah.
It's only me with the technical issue, so yes, you're back. You're fine. No, Emil Krafth did really well on with his performance today, Isha. I thought he was really impressive as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think in the first half he made like 20 passes, which I thought for someone who hasn't had a start since January, I expected him to be rusty. I did have concerns when I saw him in the starting 11. Okay, we'll move on to this later when we talk about Lazaro. Lazaro definitely deserves a start in my opinion, and to start him over Krafth would be my decision. So to see him in the starting lineup, it was a questionable move, and I think his confidence did grow from start to finish, and he made some tidy challenges. So I agree with the rating. I wouldn't give him. I'd probably give him like a 7. But yeah, I mean that's probably just because I thought he was just a little bit rusty. But anyone would be if they haven't had a start since January.
Yeah.
20 passes in the first half is solid. So yeah.
Very solid for someone who hasn't played a lot of football, but it's Kyle's mark, so we'll have to go with an 8. But poor Kyle. No, we'll continue with Jonjo Shelvey, who's also getting an 8 from me. I thought he was really instrumental in the middle of the park. I think he made things tick. I think he helped Bentaleb at times. But he was a nuisance to Bournemouth all afternoon, and I really, really was impressed by Jonjo Shelvey. It still bothers me why he wasn't involved against Manchester City on Sunday, but that's another battle we'll have to deal with another day. But 8 out of 10 for Jonjo Shelvey.
Did you see his pass along the ground? I think it went Krafth out wide. It was just beautiful. It was just swift along the ground. Backward roll of the ball. It was just unreal. Just a beautiful pass.
That was the best.
Yeah.
He controlled the game for me. I would have given him a 9. They couldn't get near him. They couldn't touch him. He was just the court general today. The quarterback, if you will. He was just fantastic.
Yeah. Well, how did you rate him today, Isha?
Yeah, I'd say a 9. He really stood out for me, and his work rate from start to finish, like the full game, and he was just an anchor in the midfield. Him and Bentaleb, they looked pretty deadly. I liked what I saw. It was just the same thing. Like I was reminiscing the Man City game. I was like, come on, like I feel like Shelvey, he really showed his worth in today's game, and his interceptions, his tackles, his sleek passing, and that cross that Kyle just mentioned, like that. It was phenomenal, and he made it look easy. It was like his natural passing abilities. He just like a duck to water. It
was fantastic. I've been outnumbered on this one, so I'll let you have it. We'll go 9 out of 10 anyway.
Yeah, we're gone.
Isha, can you continue with his partner in crime in the midfield, and that was Nabil Bentaleb? Again, another surprising choice by Steve Bruce, but again, very comfortable.
Yeah, I think his performance with Shelvey, it was at the centre of like Alan Saint-Maximin's excellence. Like the way they provided, the way they just ran the show. I was really impressed with what I saw. I think that was his best Newcastle performance today.
Yeah, agree.
He really stood out to me, and I thought that's why we signed him. Well, that's why we got him in. Whatever. Like I just think he made a big impact. And him and Shelvey, like that duo, it was really memorable.
What would you give him?
7? No, actually, wait. What did we give Shelvey? 9, right?
Yeah.
8. So I'd give him an 8.
8 for Nabil Bentaleb. I'll get Kyle to put it on screen. Kyle, I'm going to let you talk about an NE29 lad who scored a goal.
Are you really?
In a Premier League match for a little while. Sean Longstaff, I thought was superb for the time that he was on. I like the fact that he's a little bit further forward, and the fact that he was in the right position to get on the score sheet was brilliant for him. And I think that'll do him the world of good. It's just such a shame that he's probably picked up an injury, and it looks like it's a muscle injury, which takes a little bit longer to recover. But for the time that he was on the pitch, Kyle, what would you give him?
A 9. I think he was absolutely spot on the day. Any 29 lad, Sean Longstaff getting played in the number 10 and playing nearly a 10 out of 10. Absolutely brilliant performance today. To win the ball for the first goal to put into Maximin's path to playing Gayle. Beautiful tackle. And then his positioning as well. You look at the build-up where Maximin beats the defender and obviously cuts it back. His position to get away from the defender was brilliant, and his finish was top draw. It's a shame he went off, because I think between when he went off and the end of the first half, Newcastle went pretty flat. Because I think we could have scored 3 or 4 before half time if he didn't go off. That's not taking anything away from Miggy. He was fantastic in the second half, but Sean was unbelievable today. I think it was his best Premier League performance of the season, that's for sure. I think he was excellent. So more of that there, please, Sean, mate.
Yeah, hopefully he's not out for too long. I'm going to continue with Alan Saint-Maximin, and he is the one person that you have to just put on the team sheet at the minute. Since we've come back from lockdown, he has been superb. And guess what, Carol? Get that 10 ready, because it's a 10 out of 10 performance for Alan Saint-Maximin.
100%.
He was just superb. 3 assists. He only played an hour, but the first assist, it was a great pass straight away into the path of Gayle. We'll talk about Gayle's goal in a second. The second one, Adam Smith, he just took him to the shops and back by the time he got back into
Sent him for an ice cream and some Haribos.
He did really. Dazzled through. He dazzled through Bournemouth's defence and laid on a plate for Longstaff, and then another pass into Miguel Almiron. Bournemouth just didn't know how to cope with him. They really didn't, and he was absolutely superb. Again, you look at the games in the Premier League. Sheffield United, he was brilliant against Sheffield United. Villa, he had his moments, but today, that was probably the best performance I've seen of Alan Saint-Maximin in the Newcastle shirt. I think he was absolutely superb. And there's one of the easiest 10 out of 10s, and he didn't even score a goal. That's how impressive Alan Saint-Maximin was today. Isha, Joe Linton, I thought was started well on the left-hand side. Didn't really get much of a chance on the right-hand side, but steady enough.
Yeah, I feel he struggled to get into the game in the first 30 minutes, but he definitely looks more comfortable in that supporting role. In terms of ratings, I have to say he probably gets one of my lower ratings. I'd give him a 6. Now, I'm not totally criticising his performance. The thing is, if we bear in mind that maybe his fee is counteracted with how little we paid for Alan Saint-Maximin and how much he contributes to our games right now, there's no way I can score someone who we paid that much for with the intentions of being like, yeah, centre forward, he's going to score our goals. I can't give him more than a 6 out of 10 because he's not getting on the score sheet. Yes, he's more comfortable out wide. Brilliant. Yeah, he looks more comfortable today for sure, but that isn't getting goals. He didn't assist and he didn't score. So more than 6, it wouldn't be right for me to score him more than that.
Yeah, I think that's a fair mark. I think obviously you would have liked to see him a bit more involved. Hopefully he hasn't got a bad knock because he came off just before Hayden came on. But yeah, I think that's a fair point you've made there.
He's taking liberties though before he went off doing back heels and that.
The samba goes. The samba football taking liberty. From the Brazilian.
Yeah, spot on. I was thinking you're not that bad when Jolton's taking liberties with him, like.
Yeah. Right, Kyle, I've got a bone to pick with you because on Sunday night you gave Dwight Gayle a 1 out of 10 for not putting that chance away. And then his first chance on goal after Saint-Maximin puts him through, he puts it in the bottom corner. I'd love it if Lee could put this in the last word. It'd be absolutely brilliant because for 30 seconds, Isha, he complains for the fact that Dwight Gayle's starting. Why would Dwight Gayle start? Kyle, how did Dwight Gayle get on today?
I'll give him an 8 out of 10. I'll own up to everybody or everyone watching and everybody in this lobby, whatever it will, live stream. I did nothing but moan about him. As soon as the team was announced, Emil Krafth, Bentaleb, and Dwight Gayle, I was wondering why they were starting. Why isn't Matty in that playing? Why isn't Andy Carroll starting? And Gayle was the quickest one to shut us up. Gets the ball and beautifully finishes it into the bottom corner. I immediately put my reaction into the chat. I'll not repeat what I said, but it's fair to say he shut us up very quickly. But no, bit more of that from Dwight Gayle. Howler of the weekend, because as we'll come on to soon, Howler has been it's been beaten. There's been a worse miss more recently. So a good performance by Gayle. I'm surprised how he weighed up against Ake, holding the ball up, getting in behind, causing making more space for the likes of Maximin and Miggy and Sean in particular. So yeah, he played really well, I think, and definitely warrants an 8 out of 10 for me. So he bounces back in style, but I still hold my case that he should be gone at the end of the season. But hey ho, he played well today.
Do you not think he should have got a bit higher than an 8? Because obviously he got a goal under enormous pressure just to prove Kyle even more wrong. Do you think he played really well? Because you've been one of his biggest admirers, Isha, for a long time, that Dwight Gayle should be given more chances. And he scored against Villa last week. He's obviously missed that chance against City, but he scored today. He's shutting up a few people to the right-hand side of me.
See, I wouldn't necessarily give him more than an 8, but I am happy that he was able to sort of redeem himself within the first 5 minutes, because although, okay, it was a dreadful missed chance, but it was only a few days ago, essentially, and it can really get to a player, and I can imagine that was on his mind. When he got the start, he probably thought, wow, okay, I've got a start, I need to put things right, I need to show what I'm made of, and he did it within 4 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever. I just think I've always had faith in him because, one, he's like the top goal scorer in the Championship. Yes, we're playing in the Premier League. It's a whole nother level. I understand that. But the energy he brings onto the pitch and the bright spark he is for us when I see him come on, whether that's when he's subbed on or even Aston Villa, I just see something in him where I think if the right system is around him, of course he can flourish. Of course he can thrive. You don't become the top scorer of the Championship with no skill or quality. The work rate is there. It's just sort of thinking that with the rest of the team. That's why I believed in him and didn't complain when he was starting. No, I'm joking. I was surprised, but I wasn't concerned. Let's put it that way.
Did you hear that,
I was more happy to see Jolinton out wide.
Yeah. I think
Eat your words, Kyle. Eat your words.
Right, the first substitution was Miguel Almiron. He came on for Sean Longstaff, as we've mentioned. What a finish! What a goal! And for
Beautiful
that, he's getting a 9 out of 10 for me, Kyle. If you want to get that ready, I think for me the goal was excellent. He was always a threat to Bournemouth. Again, similar to saint-maximin, not as the same sort of extent, but they just didn't know what to do with him, really, to be honest. And he could have got a couple more if he played, or he could have got more goals for the team if he played through towards our forward players towards the second half as well. But yeah, I honestly can't complain with Miguel Almiron's performance today. Just the performance he needed from now at the end of the season. If he can get a few more goals and assists, like saint-maximin's doing, like with 3 assists today, wow! If them two can just stay on form together at the same time, we'd have a really fantastic 3
on the cusp of a good end of the season. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Played very well today and an excellent finish as well. That smells contagious, man.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's a bit different to Sunday.
So adorable. It reminds me of like when he got his first goal. Just his face and the way he hugged Steve Bruce afterwards. Like, he just looked like a kid on Christmas who just got like the toy he'd asked for. He was so happy. And he looked so like rejuvenated. I had my concerns like from the Premier League restart on his form. But today, when he came on, just that sort of like refreshing, rejuvenated display that he put on, it restored all my faith in him. And I just thought the pace he moves, like he's a threat on the pitch. He just, I feel like he just needs to sort of fine tune that into, I don't know, like a consistent display.
Yeah, for sure.
Perhaps the confidence. That's the confidence he needs to finish the season, like on that sort of top form. And we all know what a goal can do for a player's confidence, especially someone like him who's had his ups and downs throughout the season. Hoping to see more of that.
Yeah, for sure. I'll let you continue issue with Andy Carroll when he came on. He actually had a shot on goal, and he had a header as well, which, he'll want to break that duck of not scoring in the Premier League for a long time. So an improved performance again from Andy Carroll.
Yeah, see, I'd give him a 7. First off, I'd definitely give him a 7. I'd say that, well, actually, he deserves 10 points just for shaving off his beard.
Not a fan.
Yeah. No, I did not like that beard.
Johnny, that's a hint, that is.
He's a horrible at me, like.
The thing is, okay, so I feel like when you watch Andy Carroll play, you feel like he's on the brink of scoring. Like, the goal drought is nearly over. He's almost there. You can just see it, like, in the aggression, the way he plays and everything. But something that made me question that if he couldn't come on today and us being in the position we were on, And if he couldn't manage to score in that, then perhaps we should question his quality just a bit more and maybe focus on that, because we were in like such a great position when he came on. He came on essentially just, like, oh, well, we've got this one in the bag, let's get Andy Carroll on. There was no like urgency in terms of the subs and the changes. So he could have come on and taken advantage of that, and he didn't. And yeah, he had a shot on goal. And also, I have to say, like, when we conceded that goal, like, did anyone see? He was facing the opposite way. And when the ball came, he ducked. Okay?
Oh.
So I don't think he was as sharp as I would have wanted him to be. And I understand his age. I understand his, history of injuries, and he hasn't been this 100% fit player all throughout, like, for the whole time we've had him this season. But I wouldn't give him more than a 7 because of that. I feel like he could have scored. There's a goal in the pipeline. It's just a shame his goal didn't happen today, because it was a very easy environment for that to happen. So I do expect a goal from him soon. I wouldn't say he's like number one striking option right now.
Yeah, for sure.
We can't rely on him.
Yeah, well, hopefully he can get his first goal against his former club. That's against West Ham on Sunday. Again, we'll have all the reaction for the game against West Ham after the full-time whistle. Kyle, let's talk about Valentino Lazaro. Got his first goal for Newcastle. I love talking about goals and Newcastle United players, I have to be honest. It's just amazing to talk about something different, isn't it, for a change?
Other than we've won a throw-in, or we're not quite being dominated as badly. It's nice, I must admit.
He deserves a bit more of a chance, in my opinion, Valentino Lazaro, but a goal and a good performance by Lazaro today will not damage that in the future, will it?
Absolutely not. I thought he should have started today, especially with Maximin playing 4 games in 11 days. That was one of the concerns with his injuries over the season. But Lazaro came in, he looked a bundle of energy, got in behind the opposition very well, got in between the midfield and the defence very well, and he could have had 2 today. The one off the bar was whoa. But his finish was tidy, timed his run to perfection with Jonjo playing a nice pass through. Lovely finish, and yeah, for me an 8, definitely worth the 8 for me. I think for me he has to start against West Ham. No disrespect to whoever might play on the right side. I think Maximin might, for obviously fitness reasons, might need to just play like 20 minutes off the bench or something like that, or switch to the other side. If it comes down, if he's fully fit, obviously you play Maximin because he's played very well today, very well. But Lazaro's proved his point as well, I think. So fair on an 8 for me. Like,
what I would do personally, I would start ASM against West Ham, and I'd have him on the bench against Man City. We're not expected to win. We're not expected to do anything. Let them have a week off, and then whoever we play, I think it's Watford the game after, then put him back in for that game. Just my opinion on that one.
Yeah.
Isaac Hayden's next. I'm going to be nice and give him a 6 because we've won. He should have said, he should have said for me that he should have scored, obviously. 3, 4, 5 yards out, whatever it was, he should have scored. But it's one of those things that happens. But he was running his backside off, really. He was fantastic in the midfield. Again, if he had scored, it would have been nice because he is one of those players that deserves a little bit more because he's putting some fantastic performances. But a 6 for Isaac Hayden, I think warrants it after.
I want to talk about the miss, Johnny.
It was a bad miss, but I'll let Lee talk about it on the last miss.
He put it out the flipping ground, man. It was 6 yards out.
I think I would have got it in, and honestly, I am terrible at football.
Isha, I've heard you've got a very good left foot.
I haven't. Like, the thing is, when I was younger, like, I used to go to football training, and I've always been tall, so they've been like, stick her in goal. But even, like, whether I'm in goal, whether I'm trying to hit the ball, like, I'm terrible. But I honestly, I was so shocked to see that from him. Yeah. And I think it's a shame because what you mentioned about his work rate, you can't fault his work rate. But if we're really breaking this down, like if we look at the Man City game, like, okay, in the second half we went to the back 4, okay? What was missing? Today there was a back 4. That deadly combo in the midfield of like Shelvey and Benzeb was the missing link that really took us ahead. And if we're just like talking about quality now instead of work rate, perhaps that's where the quality lies and that's where it will work. Isaac Hayden doesn't necessarily have that quality. He has the work rate. And yeah, I would say 6 as well. Like 50% of it.
What's that noise?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, there we go. It's gone.
Okay,
It's
there we
gone.
go. Yeah, for for that terrible missed chance, and for the fact that he doesn't really quite have the quality that we saw in Ventlev and Shelvey in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I completely agree. DeAndre Edlin gets a non-applicable for me, but yeah, I think for me it wasn't on long enough, and again he didn't really do a great deal. I think he was fine in the position that he was at. I was like, here, I feels like I'm like on a sea with all these noises. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know whether you can hear it.
I can hear it as well. I don't know what it's from. I hope the listeners can hear it.
I hope the viewers can't, but honestly, it looks like we're in the middle of the sea. Believe it or not. Right, let's quickly finish off with Steve Bruce then. Kyle, perfect performance after the FA Cup shambles. As I can hear the noise, as I can hear the sea again. I feel like I'm at the Bournemouth beach. Honestly, believe it or not. But no, in all seriousness, Kyle, Steve Bruce. If there was a performance that you wanted after something like what happened on Sunday, that was pretty much it. Take away the goal right at the end. I'll give my mark, and I'll let you, Andy, should decide whether you should agree with that. I'm going 10 out of 10 for Steve Bruce today.
A 10. I'll put a 9 on this thing, but I'll
you sure you get the deciding
10.
vote? You sure you get the deciding vote, 9 or 10?
Okay, this is going to sound a bit weird, but I would give him a 10 for sure. It's just the way he banked on Alan Saint-Maximin playing. When I saw Alan Saint-Maximin in starting lineup, I was that. He's played 4 consecutive games. He's getting tired. We need to rely on him for the rest of the season. And when he started him, I was petrified. And in his pre-match chat he said, "Oh, we saw him in training and he was fine." And I was just horrified. I'm sorry, maybe I'm pessimistic, but I just thought we can't outplay Alan Saint-Maximin. Today, he got 3 assists. It paid off. His judgment, it was good and it was decent. And I just think right now, Steve Bruce, he's like reaping the awards for like playing a system that's actually working with the right players right now. And for that, we can't fault him and we can't criticize him. So I agree on him.
Kyle, he has to continue that system, doesn't he? Because you look at the game against Man City. Yes, it was Man City. And yes, it was 5 at the back. People weren't really bothered about the fact it was 5 at the back. It was just the fact that it was just so ultra defensive. We didn't give ourselves a chance of doing anything going forward. Today, we're playing worse opposition, no disrespect to Bournemouth, but we are. Yeah. It has to continue against these teams like your West Hams, etc. on Sunday.
Yeah, it's got the proof's in the pudding, mate. I mean, before we changed formation, we're in the bottom 4 for goals scored. In fact, I think we're lower than that, and we're starting to concede more and more as well. And I think there's only been one game where we've changed to this formation and we failed to score. And I think that was Burnley, the last game. I was at St James's Park, as it happens, depressing as that is. But since we've changed to this formation, I just think it's let the likes of Almiron, Alan Saint-Maximin, those type of players to really get forward and really hurt teams. Whereas in the early part of the season, they were getting the ball at their own box, basically, and being asked to drive forward and hope for the best kind of thing. We're creating a lot more chances. We're strikers are starting to score goals now. I mean, even Dwight Gayle scored 2 goals in his last 2 league games, for God's sake.
He's mint.
Joe Linton scored a goal. I mean,
Dwight Gayle.
Exactly.
We need to get Muto in there. I'm definitely not, like, no way. But it just shows. I mean, the when we've set up this way, we'll play a lot better. And I think like Jonjo Shelvey, and that's playing a lot better in this formation too. And it suits Miggy down to too, for the amount of space he can create and the problems he can cause. I think 4-2-3-1's got to be the formation from now on. To be fair, I think if Bruce went with this at the start of the season, we'd be a lot higher up the league. I really think that.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you said, but Newcastle have won away from home, 4-1, biggest away win of the season, biggest win of the season in the league as well. Absolutely fantastic. Well, that is scoring the players some fantastic. We've got some 10s out of 10s for Steve Bruce and Alan Saint-Maximin, loads of 9s, and I can still hear the sea in my ears. So I don't know what's going on, but we've still got more to come here on Newcastle Fans TV. We've got opposition reaction as Isha's laughing away because obviously we can hear this, but I don't know if you can. But Lee's been talking to a Bournemouth fan. It wasn't Owen Shepherd. before you start.
It was, man. Stop it. You're ruining the surprise for them, man. The Owen Shepherd derby, and he's. It's why he hasn't been on the reaction or scoring the best, because he's representing his native
local team.
Wicked.
Exactly. No, Lee be talking to a Bournemouth fan, and also we've got the last word out, which Lee will be going in. Or he'd be saying that Newcastle were amazing, and I'll be agreeing with him. Make sure you give that a watch as well. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV, and we'll be back on Sunday for all of the West Ham reaction. Hopefully Newcastle have got another 3 points, and it might put another nail in their coffin for relegation.
Oh, Johnny.
Oh,
what a
sorry,
poor way. We've just won away from home, and you come up with stuff like that. My God. Disgusting.
Well, my thanks to Kyle and my thanks to Isha, and we'll see you all very, very soon.
See you there.